Okay guys, Assalamualaikum and welcome back. So kita dah lama juga tak bersiaran. Hari ni kita kembali ke virtual studio kita. Kita ada Sheikh Tenhak back our usual, and also we have a special guest in our virtual studio today. So introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm Sharif. As you could see my background here, I have the banner or the scarf, MU scarf, which I got from Old Trafford. No lah. No lah. I got from the local sports shops. But I claim
Ori.
Ori lah. So first time joining this, definitely would like to, how do I say, to see lah. Excited. I catch up you guys. What do you call that? Some reviews that you guys did, right? So looks cool, looks nice, and also as an MU fan, also need a mental health check lah, where we can discuss football, right?
Group therapy,
Sharif, I saw your WhatsApp. You main bola, Sharif. I see your pictures, all these football shots in your WhatsApp.
Yeah. I last time when a little bit young, I play. Right now, play, but not so as frequent like last time. I played last time when I was young. I played for school until MMSM, right, for KL, right, and then for University as well. And then I joined the local club in Johor. And then right now it's more on leisure friendly leisure between clubs in KL. Yeah. Normally I play in UKM.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys have any friendlies or if you guys need some players, just let me know.
Okay, so let's do our usual recap apa dah jadi minggu lepas, game week 8. So since we have two United fans with us, so might as well kita start dengan MU lah. So finally, you guys back to winning ways, beating Brentford 2-1. So we'll start with Sharif lah. How did the game go, bro?
I think again for me, it's a typical Ten Hag's game, right? Always there's a two side of half. Either first half we play well, second half we play better. And I think with Brentford, I think the second half was way better. I was texting to Sheikh as well, right? And I was telling this second half was really good because we know that Brentford, I think for the past games they always 5 minutes, right? They always get the early goals, right? And I think the United plan was try to stop Brentford from scoring. It was almost also scoring. I think what was the guy, the striker, Shah or Shakir or something, I couldn't remember his name, right? But he almost got in, I think within 8 minutes or something like that. But then it was not good first half, but second half, I think it is all the 50-50 balls we were winning, and you could see everyone turn up, right? And when I catch the post match, I think the players were telling that they were angry during the second half, right? Due to the decision where they have to come out, right, for the treatment. And I think Ten Hag told them that to transfer those emotion back into field, and I think it went well, right? Because we saw a couple of games where United suddenly lost their emotion in the game, and they throw it away, right? So good thing. I think the next thing is to be consistent, right? This is something that United need to be, right? It's always I would not say winning ways back again, because we always jump early, right? But I will say it's a good thing after what they call it, after the international break, right? And to silence the noise, right, in media and everything, right? And finally we got some good goals and win in Old Trafford, right?
I think the second half was one of the best I've seen United. Would you agree with me?
I
Yes,
agree.
one
I
of the
totally
best.
agree. Yeah, yeah.
The
Every
first
time
half,
when yeah, sorry, go on.
I think was okay. The goal was because of Delete not there lah. They didn't organize themselves well.
Yeah, typical MU lah. When things a little bit chaotic, it clearly shows that we are still lacking leadership.
Yes.
We are still lacking leadership. It's not about captaincy, but it's at the back. Who's leading who, right? I mean, you could
Although
clearly see.
the midfield is good, but I feel in the coming games the midfield is still a bit slow. It's a Casemiro and Ericsson and old man's midfield lah. So the energy is not there. So I think for games like this it's okay, but when you play the big boys, especially like
I agree.
Arsenal,
I
Liverpool,
agree.
you need a younger and more dynamic midfielder.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally that. I think the pace of Premier League is I think with Casemiro and Ericsson, it's you cannot play with them every time, right?
Yeah.
In PL, right? And that's where we need Mainu, Ugarte. There's also a debate why they let go McTominay, but it seems it's a FPP thing, right? But I think honestly speaking, for me, at least for my opinion, I don't think McTominay was I don't think he could able to play for United for what they are right now, right? Because clearly it's so high. Every game is scrutinized, right? And you clearly see that he's not playing as how it is, right? And now you see how he's playing in Napoli and everything. And I agree to you. We need more dynamic midfielders, box to box midfielders, right? And I think the thing that I think might help our midfield is that how we played Brentford in second half. You could see the back line push really high up, and when the ball come or hit when the first clearance, right, the defenders straight away pressure those attacking players, and that's where I think we need more, because the previously the defense, because they I do not know, maybe confidence, or maybe they are not adapt to the pressing yet. There's a big gap between the midfield and the defense.
Exactly,
And
it's
that
true, very true.
and that's where you seen Salah, you seen the wingers, they always get the spaces in between the midfield,
Yeah,
and
true.
that's where the problem is right now. But in Brentford, I did not see that. I see our defense is playing at the almost at the midfield line, right? And they are not afraid of the players of Brentford, backtracking them or trying to beat them behind. And that's what I think more of that should happen in other
I
games.
also feel like
but
Xerxes.
like
I-
back to the game. I just want to understand like what's the difference between the first half, which was like chaotic, end to end, and the second half, which is like the totally different side turned up. So like what happened?
Maybe
First
Shane,
half,
you can go.
MU played okay. I wouldn't say they were bad. They actually had the game under control, but out of the what do you call this, against the run of play, this guy scored lah. They scored. So MU okay first half, but second half they picked it up. They picked it up. So if you can give that kind of performance, I think it's okay lah going forward. My only issue is when Hoyland is not there, Xerxes looks like somebody with no confidence. He's totally lack of confidence.
I think that's where I heard the commentator say before Zexi came in. What was the person who came in? Was it? I can't remember the substitution. And the commentator said that the player that came in could not meet the pace and the intensity of the other teammates playing in. And that's where actually I think the difference, to answer your question as well, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah, I think the commentator was referring to Zirkzee.
was it Zexi? The first.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Xerxes
Zirkzee.
lacks
Okay.
confidence.
Yeah.
Player without
Yeah.
confidence, I feel.
So
But I'm happy with the performance. I'm very happy.
So yeah, if you could see, that's the standard that we have to play, right? When even subs comes in as well, they have to meet with the intensity and the pace of the game. And you could see the other 10 or 9 players are playing a different game, and that's why Ziggy looks like out of it. He's
He's
trying
lost.
to
Yeah.
Yes, he's lost. He's trying to adapt. He's trying to slow down, but his teammates not slowing it down. You see, he's trying to play his game, and I think that's the difference in the second half. I think they went they played as I think as like what I agree with you, Sheikh. I think they played exactly or perhaps what is being built by Eric Ten Hag, the pressing game, right? And the intensity game of the quick transition movement from one end to one end, and I think even the players coming from the bench as well couldn't adapt to the to the intensity and the pressure of the game as well.
But do you think like is this finally like you guys going to back to winning ways, or do you still see like struggling?
No, I don't mind if we lose, like how we lost to Brighton. It was anybody's game, and we could have won it. I cannot take it when you go and play Liverpool and you are just beaten, left, right, and center, and Spurs left, right, and center. That's horrible. Tactically against Spurs, they went all wrong. They wanted to go pressing, and they left big gaps. And Liverpool, you cannot play with Liverpool. You have to play a defensive game and maybe do a counter. But those two games were poor, really poor. So if they move forward, we've got West Ham next. We've got Mourinho's team on Thursday.
Yeah, Fenerbahce first, eh?
Oh, that's a good one. And then we've got West Ham next. And then we are playing, I think, Leicester, then comes to Chelsea. So it'll be quite tough, lah. But if we play this way, I think there's a good possibility that we can move up the table.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too early to say we are back, right? I think we need like I say, consistency of a series of games, right? At least try to move out, try to get something result in Fenerbahce, right? At least I think the last game, almost 9 games we did not win, right? From Europe, right? At least that we need to get it out, right? Try to get a win again Fenerbahce, and then maybe get the results in West Ham, and then we see how, right? At least for me, the 5 games, if we could get results, then we could say yes, okay, United is back. This is the the new United. They are refreshed. This is not something that's not an issue anymore. Maybe those 7 games earlier is just a phase, something wrong or something out of out of nowhere, and they are returning back, right? But I'm afraid of something, to be honest, right? I don't feel that we have enough squad depth in the fullbacks, right? And I think that will cost us our season again, unless January
Fullbacks.
transfer we do something, right?
Which side are you worried? Like left or right, or both?
No. When
Definitely
your
left.
best player is 36-year-old, where's the rest of the team?
Who's 36?
Yeah, Johnny Evans.
No, Shahid was talking about the fullbacks. He's worried about the fullbacks.
Yeah, fullbacks.
Yeah, but
the
I
right
think,
left backs. The left back Luke Shaw and Malaysia.
yeah, and right now, you see, you can't play the same fullbacks in entire season. That's almost 60 games, right? To play. And Eric Ten Hag is saying that we will win something. So he definitely would want to play until the end for Carabao and also FA Cup, right? So that's almost 70 over games to play. So for me, I think I'm worried about that, right? I don't see that we can play the same fullbacks week in, week out, and when the games comes in, right, 3 days once, and I think that's where we can see, and that's where we might see how United turn up, right? If they can manage, then I could say okay, they are doing okay, we are back, we are there. But I'm just a little bit not so confident in this. I just because I just have a prediction that we will gonna see Lindelof playing right back. We're going to see Casemiro playing centre backs. Those type rotation and everything, right?
That was a horrible year.
but I don't see that changes coming in, to be honest, unless we make something in the January, right? But I don't know whether it's going to be too late, because in January most of the that's where you could see where the team is going to end up in the season, right? but yeah, if it's going to happen the same way, then it's same old again. Then I think United fans is going to be having excuse. So we don't have a proper centre backs, we don't have a proper fullbacks and everything. But it is what it is, right? So I hope what do you call it, Alvaro Fernandez, we can get him back. So
Yep.
let's see how.
Yep. That's the
Yeah,
problem. We've got
my issue.
go on.
Yeah, my issue is not really with the fullbacks or the center or the squad. The squad there is, I think, is okay. It's just that what is the manager's identity? Like, okay, fine, he has already bought the delete. He's already bought most of his players in, and yet he still chooses to go with Johnny Evans and Maguire if Maguire is fit lah. Johnny Evans, 36 year. What does that tell you? The trust he has in his signings. He rather
No, I think
puts in
Johnny
a
Evans,
36-year-old.
you got no choice because Euro is injured, and then you can't play delete every game. You can't play delete every game. So sometimes midweek you have to play either Maguire and what do you call this?
No, I mean, I'm referring to the last two games. The last two games, he's been trusting Johnny Evans a lot, which is like a bit weird because he should be your last choice. So worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, I agree. But I think
yeah, Lindelof just back from injury.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where I think we had some minor injuries, right, with Martinez, with the Ligit as well, as well, right? So that's why Evans came in, and I think that's also another, maybe it's also a technical decision as well. Somehow I do not know why Ten Hag feels that with Aston Villa Evans can play well, and I think it also raised eyebrows between us, right? Maybe Watkins is going to blast.
No. My question is, yes, Evans is there, but the best player for MU on that game was Evans. It wasn't Rashford or Garnacho or somebody else. It was Evans. So that is my question. It's not the fullback. It's where are these young players? How come a 36-year-old was man of the match?
I think that's a question that's why I've been saying I don't really feel, maybe it's a little bit harsh. I don't feel that the players in MU deserve to play in MU, to be really honest, right? Because if 36-year-old Johnny Evans came back, from I do not know, from
year-to-year
retirement home.
Yeah, from almost retirement from something, and then now he's getting man of match. And then what you mentioned just now, where were the young players and everything, right? And I think that has been said during, I do not know, maybe in the international break or during the pre-match team talk. They really need to turn up. Because I just feel the MU players that we have right now could just turn on that switch. Today I'm going to play good. The next week I'm not going to play well. I don't know. I don't know. It's like an option, or do they feel like tired, or maybe they had enough, or maybe it's a mental thing when they concede and then they feel okay, I just not going to turn up. I think that's the issue also as well. I got to be honest, right? Besides, yeah, that's why I agree with you. Besides the identity, I think this is also another thing that I'm worried as well. I want to see consistency in our players. I know people are speaking on cloud nine on Rashford and Garnacho, but come on, let's bring it week in, week out, right?
Week in, week out.
I think that's the issue with United, because you can score one and assist one game, and then you take another 10 games to again come back into scoring or assist shit. I think that's not a United player, right? To be
this
really
next
honest.
6 games will going to be very critical for Ten Hag. If the team does well, they win, and they don't, even if they do lose here and there, they play Chelsea, and if there is a defeat also, but it's a good game, they play well, then acceptable. But to get beaten like the other day against Spurs was terrible.
I think that's what what do you call it? Sid was telling. What is the identity, right? I think that's where is it, because if you play the way you are playing and then you get beaten, right? At least we could see, okay, you are trying to build something, and that's where you can say, okay, I'm going to trust the process, right? Okay, something's cooking, right? But if you
nothing is cooking.
Yeah, something is cooking, or Ten Hag is cooking, right? Those type, right? But you see his game management. It's not only Ten Hag. I will not blame the manager, right? But I do feel the players need to take responsibilities, right? Enough is enough. I think in the Bradford game, the second half, they showed they can do, and this is what I want to see. I want to see the next 5 games, like what you mentioned, Sheikh, right? I want to see how does the player to bring those performance week in and week out.
Yeah, I just want to see how you guys perform against Fenerbahce, because against Brentford didn't have the quality of players. To be honest, they were
No, come on.
a level down. A level down. I want to see when you guys play top quality opponents, how is the performance going to be? Are you guys going to collapse? Are you guys going to step up? Because I feel the midfield is also a bit of a concern for me, personally. I feel it's a bit of a concern because you have Ericsson, who is already, like, you can see as heart patient slow. It's quite slow on the
32.
field.
And Ericsson 32 or 33.
And
Casemiro is the same age.
and Casemiro as well, who's really like lost his legs. I want to see if you guys maintain the same midfield against a better team. I'm not sure what happened to Ugarte. Why isn't he starting?
I think that's where
Mason Mount is non-existent.
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount is injured again.
I don't want to comment about him. I don't believe.
Apparently,
it's
Mason
a
Mount
goodbye.
got a head injury and another injury at a place they cannot mention. I wonder where that is. That's what they said, the press conference. At a place they cannot mention. I said, what?
For me, Mason Mount's injury and Shaw is, for me, it's a heart sickening thing to hear that you can play for England and then suddenly come back for him, you cannot
Yeah,
play, and then
that really pissed me off.
yeah, and then for Mount the same as well. You got injured, and then during injury you pick up another injury. That what you mentioned, right? From don't know, they cannot mention which injury. So this is where the legends were saying, like Scholes and Rio Ferdinand were saying last time when they get injured, they always treat it internally, right? Yes, if it's a major injury, they go to US, they go to Spain, because they have a proper or maybe a better surgeon over there, right? But now you see it's more on they are always returning to their private physios or private coaching, right? And I think this is an issue as well. And this is where the information are coming into the fitness coach of United, saying that he's still not fit, he's still recalibrating his injuries or something like that, right? I think it's a question. That's why my question is, do you want to play for United, right?
No, the wife says stay at home, no need to go for training.
then much more worse. That one TB.
Gaji jalan. Gaji is running.
That's why I saying, don't deserve to play for United. To be
True.
a little bit critical, but prove me wrong, because we as a fan, right? We seen players playing for United, how they play. They play during pain, right? They even they are injured, they coming back, and then
Delete was a good example. Delete was a good example last game. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, correct, exactly. They want to play for United, but I don't know. Let's see how.
I wanna ask Sharif this question. So are you considered Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out or 50-50?
It's a little bit complicated. For me, I think it has to stop. The buck has to stop at the players, because I think it's enough of getting rid of managers, right? And then for me, during the time when Jose Mourinho was get sacked, right? That's when I really. That's where of I almost 20 years or 20 plus years of being an MU fan. That's where I begin to hate MU players, to be really honest, right? When I it's a little bit strong. I'm an MU supporter, but if you ask me to name a football MU player right now that I support, that I want to, like last time how we like the Beckhams, the Van Persies, you understand? I can't name one. To be really honest with you, right? To be honest, because it starts from from Jose Mourinho, how the players got him sacked. The same goes to Ole, even though how much Ole did for the team to make them feel happy, to make them play the United way, right? And then again coming in with Ten Hag again, I think it has to stop. But saying that as well, but Ten Hag is not helping himself
Yeah,
to be
betul,
honest as
betul.
well. Yes, to be honest as well. Like you mentioned, sometimes his selection of his team, it's a little big question mark, right? But if it works, it works. His in-game management, right? Luckily during Brentford, he did not make some crazy stuff, like bringing out like I do not know, maybe bringing out Delegate or playing Lindelof in CDM or something like that, or you know, somehow he's not helping us in the press conference as well, right? I think he need to be a little bit critical to the players. I think he's trying to protect the players, right? He always say stick to the plan.
Yeah.
He always say
you can't be
we need
sticking to
to
the plan forever.
and I think the question is what is the plan, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
everyone is asking what is the plan, right? You right now what you're 85% or 80% of the team, 16 to 17 of the squad is his squad, right? So
Yes.
I think the excuses is coming down. You're right. Previously you could say okay, he needs time. He needs at least 3 seasons. This is his third season. Yes, he always keep on reminding us that he won the 2 cups, right? But I think that need to be trimmed down because it's going to be sound a little bit pathetic, right? But I like the recent press conference where he's saying the noise are coming from outside, not from inside. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But it's not also to the Ten Hag. It's also to the new Ineos team as well, right? This is the first time that I feel that okay, you have a proper football people at the top, right? And okay, a benefit of doubt, they only started in June, so it's almost 4 months or something. But they did a mistake. How could you start the season again? Coming back to the fullback, that's why I say, how could you start a season with only 2 fit fullbacks, right? And you want to play for at least top four, right? In the PL and at least maybe win a cup, either the Europa League or I don't know, maybe try to defend your FA Cup title, right? So a lot being said about Dan Ashworth. He's good. He's the best. Even people, even MU paid his what they call that, the
Yeah,
compensation to
he is the
Newcastle.
best. He is the best, Sharif. He is the best.
I have no argument to that, but he need to prove that. But for me, starting with these seasons again, like I say, a lot of question. One is the how he could let go Alvaro Fernandez, knowing that Malasa and Shaw did not come back. Right, this is not. This I think we cannot pin to Ten Hag because this is not the new football structure right now, right? We have
Yeah.
a technical or sporting director, a football director to be right, and I think and also letting go McTominay, but like you mentioned, where is the perhaps the replacement? Okay, maybe Ugarte. Okay, let's see how he plays, right? And I think that's the maybe the issue that I have with the current Ineos decision making, right? And I would not want them to make it worse to sack Ten Hag during these first 7 games, right? Because I think that will be totally bad, right? So let's see how. So it's more on those factors, right? I think what I mentioned just now, the players need to we should not sack managers again. Then it will be the same old again, where players are more powerful than managers, right? Ten Hag need to help himself, and then Ashwood and Omar Brada need to prove that they are different. Okay, I might
Ni
be
lah,
wrong.
ni lah baru betul. A fan who is critical of his team. But no, but I have to agree lah, bro, because you were spot on lah. Ineos has made mistakes, especially during the transfer window. You pointed out the midfield issue. I found it very surprising where they waited so long to get Ugarte after knowing that your midfield is the issue. You don't have a proper like number 6. You know,
Agree.
Casemiro his legs are gone,
Agree.
and you waited till
Agree.
the end of the window, which is like game week 3 or 4. So that's on Dan Ashworth lah, and then his team, the recruitment team, like really screwed that part up. But yeah, I know it's only been 4 months, but let's see if
Yep.
they can pick things up. and hopefully Ten Hag has to help himself, because at the end of the day, you can say the players has to take responsibility, but it is a results. It's a results business lah.
Yeah, true, very true.
Yeah.
So the win last year
I-
for the FA Cup is it can take you so far. So now the
Exactly.
next 6 games, we will see what happens. If they move up the table, they do well, then he will stay. I think this window, the guys up there are quite smart. They've all been they're handpicked from different clubs. So I think they know what they're doing.
I really hope so. I really hope so. But again, like I mentioned, it is what it is, right? We started this season with only 2 fit fullbacks, right? It is a risk, right? Okay. I see you're supporting the managers, the players that he wants. You brought in, and then you started the negotiation early, compared to the Woodward days, right? Where you see players coming in right at
Panic
the end
panic buy. Yeah.
Correct. And then you suddenly have I really like when their first buy was Euro, right? It really shows that okay, they really had a team meeting, and then they really had a shortlisted what they are planning to do, what type of football they want to bring in, and it's a build up from the FA Cup triumph, right? And then how you get into the season as well. However, I have my doubts, but I think I'm not going to be critical to the board yet, but yes, they have to prove something. It's not only Ten Hag, including to the new people upstairs as well, right? Because reputations will not win you games, right? I like what is Bailey doing. Or 2028, we want to win the Premier League for our 125th anniversary. It's good, all good. But I think a lot of stuff need to be made, and I'm glad they had a meeting really long before the international break, and they did not accept the Ten Hag. To be honest,
Yeah, 7 hours, right?
Yeah, from morning until evening, right?
Wish.
So you could really see the seriousness. I agree with you, Sheikh. They are good people. They are football people. But then we
So
must
okay
admit
the
that.
transfer window was good. There wasn't a panic buy. They wanted to buy Brandwaite, but the price was too high. They moved on. They're not going to be hassled like last time. People bribe you into you got to buy this player. So that's very good. And then
Tak ada
when
kena scam
Mr.
macam
Roy,
Anthony.
that was a bad buy. I think.
The only thing is I just don't get it why they are still trusting Shaw, right? They should get a left back, right? And I do not, and that is why people were saying that Dan should notice, or maybe he has a good eye on talent, right? And why did he let go Alvaro Fernandez? And then now Alvaro Fernandez is playing for Benfica so good, right? And now luckily, okay, it's a good negotiation because we can buy him back in a very low price compared to the other teams. But yeah, I think the trust or the waiting period for Shaw need to stop. I just get it that this Ineos is a little bit pro English, right? So I think I think maybe perhaps that, I don't know, maybe that is just my assumption, right? But for me, I just really feel a little bit a little bit frustrated on that, right? Not
Yeah,
yet until
we're going 8 games into a season, and we still haven't. Our 2 left backs are still injured.
Exactly.
Both our left backs are still injured. And there's no sign of them coming back in the next 1-2 games.
Correct. And both of them are out for. It's not like a sprain, or they are out for a season. Malaysia, how when was his last game? Right? Sure as well.
Is he our player? Is he our player or?
I don't know. And that is where I'm questioning the technical directors and the upper.
No, the
upper
medical
board.
guy was for ex-Arsenal. That's why. The medical guy we brought from Arsenal. This bugger sabotage.
Agent.
But you know that these long haul injuries will take time for them to assimilate back to the team, right? And
yes.
this is where I don't understand why was they so confident to start the season with only 2 fullbacks. That is my biggest question mark. And this is what is costing us, where you could see that. For me, again, I'm saying again, Dalo he's a good player, but it's not a starting player.
Left
He's
back.
a squad player.
Yeah.
He's a squad
Yeah.
player. Yeah. Even in fact, the Brentford goal, he was the one who's tracking the goal scorer, Pinnock, right? But then he lost the run. You see. So and then the same thing as well when they played with Spurs as well. He did not.
He was the one tracking back, and he stopped halfway.
Correct. And he could, and you could literally see Johnson running, and he stopped halfway, and he's thinking that someone or
Will
some
take
others
over. Please help me. You.
yeah, please help me, right? So
I've done my job.
So this is where I'm questioning, right? Okay, one of the fitness level throughout the entire season, and we need competition among these players, right? Because then you can drop players because you are not performing as what the managers want, right? So for me, I think Ten Hag also does not have choice. Who am I going to play? Should I play what? Lindelof at the left? That will make much more worse, right? Right?
Yeah,
and
worse.
then fans will start jump up. But I like how Martinez played left back on the other day. But I agree what Shamil said. It's still Brentford. Let's see how it goes in other big games. Right?
Okay. That basically wraps up United lah. The therapy session was good lah.
We can talk another hour though.
almost 40 minutes for United.
We can talk another hour though.
The therapy session was good lah.
Yeah. Let's speak about Arsenal lah. How about the red card, man?
Can. We move to Arsenal. First defeat of the season, 2-0 against Bournemouth. It was a bad day at the office for me. I mean, personally, I felt everyone was off. We got a red card, but even before the red card, we were playing not that convincing.
You weren't creating chances or anything. Okay, the first goal was a penalty, right? The first goal was a good goal. It was a good goal. Yeah, it was a really good goal. The first goal, the movement was good. But the second goal, you made a mistake. The defender made a mistake. So bad day at the office. I agree with you.
Yeah. Throughout the game, I could see that I think Raya did mistake in early on. Luckily he could.
He got saved.
right. And I think a couple of defense also make the same mistakes and everything. But luckily it was Bournemouth, right? And I think it was mistake being created by Arsenal. Basically, Arsenal did what MU did for a couple of games.
Self-sabotage.
So what do you think this year, Shami? What do you think of Arsenal this year?
No, I mean, we have been doing okay, but it's just that we have a kind of a disciplinary problem. We always tend to have a red card in most of the games. It's been now like three red cards already. Okay, 2 of them I understand it was for kicking the ball away, which is I feel is quite ridiculous decision lah. But but the weekend's one against Bournemouth, I felt it was you can say justified, although some people would say 50-50, because he was like way there was quite a bit of a distance between Saliba and the goalmouth. But even still, I felt if it was 11 against 11, I doubt we would have beaten Bournemouth. We might sneak a corner or something, but I don't think we would have broken them down because we didn't have, first of all, the creativity. Odegaard, which presence was really missed. We were missing Saka as well, so there wasn't really much of an impact on the right hand side. Sterling was okay, and also this is one of my criticisms for Arteta because even after getting the red card, I'm surprised he took off Sterling when he was our best threat, I would say, on the right hand side.
Someone who can run with the ball,
And the person that caused the red card, like Trossard, his pass was the one that put Saliba in trouble. he gets a lifeline and he stays on the pitch. He had a really bad game, Trossard. So I felt he got his subs wrong.
I kind of surprised you said the red card was justified because I felt it's not.
I thought it was justified.
Because if you see the Chelsea with Liverpool game, right, it's almost the same incident, right? And that guy.
So again, that's the consistency problem.
With the Chelsea game, yes.
Yeah, what was the Chelsea player, right? He only got a yellow. It's almost the same, similar, right? For me, okay, if you are giving a red card where a player tangles or some part of his body tangles with the attacking player, right? Because he's the last person or the last defense line, then it should be a red card for Chelsea Liverpool, right? But because one referee is giving yellow and one referee is giving red, I think that's where we are having a discussion about this, right?
But the weird thing is, in the Arsenal game, the referee initially gave a yellow. Then VAR told him to masuk campur and relook, and then he gave a red.
Okay, then why the VR in Liverpool and Chelsea did not overturn?
Okay, it's a consistency problem.
Correct. I don't know. Maybe you try to appeal because Bruno got his red card rescinded, right?
Overthrown, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see how.
Shami, I got a question for you. You know that Man City is winning the titles every year, right? So is the pressure on Arsenal worse or the pressure on Liverpool worse to win the title this year? Who is more under pressure to win the title?
I feel it's the same. Both teams have equal pressure to stop City, but City being City, they tend to get the results somehow or other.
I think the pressure on Arsenal is more than Liverpool because Liverpool just recently won the title, and they won the Champions League also. So the pressure on Arsenal is quite heavy this year. You know, they are supposed to deliver, and everybody is telling them. So maybe that's why the players get a little too anxious to this. You know, that could explain.
I don't quite agree because 2 of the red cards out of the 3 were for stupid refereeing decisions. It shouldn't be a red in the first place for kicking the ball away. There's no consistency at all. Okay, fine. Yesterday, the weekend's one could have been a red card, but I felt that first of all, we didn't get our transfers right. I feel we should have got a proper an actual number 9, and we should have got a replacement for Odegaard because you can see now we are relying on a 17-year-old as our number 10, which is ridiculous lah. So the transfers itself was really wrong, I felt like. But the season is long. There's a long way to go. So I feel as we can still catch City. It's only like what?
Next weekend is
4 points gap. Yeah.
Yeah, next weekend is Liverpool. So that one you cannot lose.
Yep, agree. But we're at home, so we have a good home record against Liverpool.
Correct. Okay. I agree with Sheikh. I think the pressure is with Arsenal right now. Because Liverpool just changed their manager, right? So it's almost maybe rebuilding 2.0 or something.
Yeah.
Arno team, right? Fair. But
Slot is not under pressure at all. Yeah, Slot is not under pressure because he's just coming in this year, first year, you know. Yeah, whereas Arteta is they told him everybody's talking, he should deliver this year.
Correct, and I agree with you. I think I'm also kind of surprised with the transfer that Arsenal did, right? Because Arteta was telling that they need squad depth and everything, but they got the wrong players for different positions, right? And again, I'm also kind of surprised that they don't get a number 9 because you see what happened with what they call it, City, right? They got Erling Haaland and that's it. 4 times, right? And they were playing also a false 9 and everything, but you could see once they get the proper number 9, that's it, man. But
so you see, Arsenal doesn't have to buy a lot of players like MU, rebuilding here, rebuilding there.
Exactly.
So you could have spent 100 million on a Solanke or one good striker, which when you feel things are not going right, you bring this guy on.
I agree.
He's the center point now. He holds the ball up and does a different thing. Maybe he can turn and score with speed, you know. So that's the thing. I feel that's a mistake, you know.
Yeah, I felt that he's basically tried to strengthen the defense this season. So I feel our defense is the best in the league. I have no issues with the defense. We have top quality centre backs and full backs. My problem is the midfield, the number 10. Because you see, the moment Odegaard gets injured, that's it. You don't have a replacement. And he is and also Saka, he's the main man. So okay, fine, you replaced him with Sterling as a backup. So I have no issues there. Just that Odegaard's position is quite critical.
I totally agree.
To trust Havertz as your main striker, The winning title.
No, people can kutuk Havertz all they want, but end of the day, last season he delivered. He got
Correct.
I think
You
almost
were
like
the top
15,
scoring
15
team.
goals.
Yeah, you were the top scoring team, the best defense. Everything was Arsenal except the title.
Yeah, it's what it is lah.
I think that's where when you started again, Shami, when you speak, it's about the mentality and discipline, right? I think that's also another factor as well, right? Perhaps it's a young squad, and they need to really, you could see also to win title, also you need a mature squad. When to control the game, when to stop, when to okay, let's close shop, and But Arsenal, Arsenal being Arsenal, yes, that's why they are high entertaining, and also you are what you are, right? Scoring high because you keep on going, right? And sometimes this costs another game because you push every game, right? And the other game you might a little bit deep in the performance of a player, right? And I think these two factors, right? I think I'm quite surprised Arteta bought more defense than midfield and strikers. And the second thing, I think the mentality of Arsenal. They somehow they are afraid to win title. I just feel that they are afraid for when things get tougher, you could really see they're afraid to lose it, right? And I don't know. I kind of feel pity for the Arsenal players.
That's a sign of pressure. That's a sign of pressure
exactly.
because the pressure is on them this season. The pressure is not on Liverpool, not on City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel for me, the title is I wouldn't say it's a must win, but a trophy I would say is a must win. Any sort of trophy because it's been like what 4 years I think since we last won a trophy.
Yeah.
So any sort of trophy lah, FA Cup ke, Carabao ke, League ke, anything lah.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Cup also can.
Yeah.
Can lah.
You got to win a trophy. True.
Yeah.
Because there's no point you play nice, you get the best stats in the league, but you don't have something to show, right?
Yeah, nobody remembers when you're second. Nobody remembers.
I think this is what Ten Hag is telling, right? I'm not going to play nice, but I'm going to win something at the end of the season. maybe
the guy won three cup finals in 2 years. 3 cup finals. He lost one. He won 2.
Yeah, maybe he got a point, right? But I cannot get. Yeah, I don't know. I want you to play like Arsenal. I want you to play like Ajax or something like that.
If you guys are challenging for the league, okay lah. You guys win trophy, challenge at least for the league.
Yes.
Going back to style of play, I mean, like you look at Postecoglou, he came within 3 months, 4 months, he got them to a style of play, and that put pressure on everybody. Everybody's under pressure. Hey, this guy can do it, huh?
Now you're speaking exactly. You see, I think this is also goes back to the modern football, guys. I think right now, what MU is doing is that the style of play is being dictated by the manager that they bring in. Again, I'm sorry to bring MU again, but when you see Spurs and the teams that comes up, right, like Aston Villa, even Chelsea, I bring in Chelsea because Chelsea is, they are different team compared to last season, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. If you see that they had a restructuring not only on the management level but also on the higher board. This is where I say again the pressure on the board, where the football director is dictating how the football is going to play in the club itself. So you see when Aston Villa got Steven Gerrard, right? You could see the glimpse of a new Aston Villa, but only it was Gerrard. I will say Gerrard is like the Ole 2.0. You have the capabilities, you know football, but you have how do I say, like a peak where you stop. You cannot move above that. And then when you bring in a title winning or a cup winning manager like Unai Emery, right? And you see things going, okay, this is how it goes. For me, that's where I think the rebuilding or the transition of a football club should happen, because you've seen it happen with Liverpool, right? You've seen it happen with Arsenal, right? Because Arsenal also brought in yes, they did it like how MU did. They brought in which manager they want it, and then they start building the team or the board that backs Arteta, right? The people that understands how Arteta wants to play. They did it in a different way. But where else you see how Brighton is doing? I mean, how old is the manager? 31 years old, right?
Hmm.
And you could really see he's yes, he brings his own world, but it does not stray away how Brighton plays, right? And it does not change, it does not confuse the team. I think this is where when we speak about style of play, it's not only the manager that this is where I question again the what do you call it, the football directing or the football department of a club, right? But again, to be fair, it's only 4 months, right? But I think right now the modern football is that it's not the manager, it's not the like Sir Alex Ferguson days, the Arsene
Yeah,
Wenger
it's
days.
gone. That's all gone. Yeah.
They are the one who are going to say, you know what, I'm going to play this. I'm going to manage. I'm going to manage the transfers. I'm going to manage people's contracts and everything. Those days were done, right? Now it's the football. Even let's go to Bayern Munich. Why Vincent Company is doing well is because the football directors they really revamped every all those way, the Saleh Hamidzik and everyone on top, right? And they brought new faces, new identity, and you see a new Bayern Munich, right? They just need a manager to execute, a head coach, right, to execute the plan that what they want. I think that's what perhaps MU need to do, and perhaps this is the modern football, and that is why, to answer why Spurs could play well, is because I think the transition
But
from
I actually admire Arsenal because you look at them 3 years ago when they played Man City, they parked the bus. When they played Liverpool, they parked the bus. Now they don't park the bus anymore. They play toe to toe with these guys.
No,
I agree.
we were getting whacked. We were getting whacked 3 years ago, like 4-0.
Yeah.
4-0.
So you see, it shows a lot of progression. When they played City the other day, they were the better team. It's not for the 10 men, they would have won it.
Even with the 10 men, we should have won.
Thanks for bringing that up, right? Because if I again, I'm a football fan, but when I saw Arsenal get beaten up, I could see that somehow something is cooking. But because Arteta did not have his players, he has certain players that are a little bit ego. Like you have your Lacazettes, you have your Aubameyang, and then what type of centre backs you have? The I don't know, Kolani Watch or so, Chambers,
Socrates, all that.
Socrates, and then you have Cedric. Again, the same issue with United as well. You have Cedric. Okay, it's a proper fullback, but is he a proper starting lineup, right? And you could see how, and that is why they have to play. They were playing like 5 at the back, try to play out. But you could see a transition, what Arteta wants, right, in his team. When he removed Xhaka, when he removed Aubameyang, when he removed Lacazette, when he removed the entire back line, he bought a relegated goalkeeper in, right, because he wants that type of style of play, and then bought in another goalkeeper to challenge the goalkeeper that he thought, right. So this is why I see. This is where, if you ask me to trust the process, I can say, okay, I trust the process, right? And this is what when I meant earlier when I say Erik ten Hag needs to help himself, right? He needs to drop players. He needs to, if Bruno is not performing, he needs to drop. He has to.
But the problem is no replacement. Like Arsenal now, I think they have got a structure that everybody is really working hard to keep their place.
That is why I feel Zirkzee is actually for Bruno, actually, not for Højlund, actually. You see?
Zirkzee feels like a number 10.
Exactly, it's like number 10, 9.5, I do not know, whatever. It's another Gakpo that they missed the bot during the early season, right? I think that is where, when Erik ten Hag wants a Gakpo, but then Liverpool, sabotage, right? And then I think now, and then they found Zirkzee, and I think he's the number 10, but I don't see him dropping Bruno and then bringing Zirkzee. I actually was really, how do I say, a little bit happy when he brought in out, was it 70 minutes or 75 minutes in Brighton? And then he brought in Zirkzee, he brought in McTom, right? In McTom. So that's where I see, okay, all right, good. You are finally doing something, rather than hoping that your out of form players try to create something magic. Like your Rashford, he did drop Rashford, but I think he was a little bit trying to prove something to the media, because media was tarnishing Rashford left and right? So he played Rashford even though he was not playing well, right? So these things, for me, does not help Erik ten Hag, to be really honest.
Mm.
Again, sorry to go back to you, but
go back.
again,
no worries.
but again, this is what Arteta do. to bring his players in, drop his players, change the captaincy in mid-season, right? This is what big managers do. This is what brave managers do. This is what title managers does.
I thought Ramsdale was really good, but I think they made the right choice by bringing this Raya guy in.
yeah, true. I think Ramsdale is almost like the white Onana. He's good at the feet, but I think the shot stopping is where Arteta is not trusting him. But Raya has the
better, yes.
But Bournemouth is showing a little bit shaky. But I think maybe it's for me as an MU fan, I hope it continues. But for as a football fan, maybe one time problem if you ask me.
Yeah, I read Ramsdale. He already like got fed up last season. Like he was making errors after errors, and that basically cost us the early part of the season.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I feel this although it's a defeat, but it's a one-off lah, because we have not lost in 20 games away. We have not lost away this year, so I think it's just a one-off lah.
Yeah, I think that's what Sheikh was telling. If it's with Liverpool and if they lost at home, right, then it's going to be an issue. Then
Liverpool is very impressive this year. Very, very impressive. Liverpool is very impressive. Except for that 1-0 loss to the Nottingham Forest. They have not been conceding. They play good football. They move the ball very well.
But then again, they have not been really tested apart from the Chelsea game.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So
it'll be a critical game next week lah.
Correct. It's a test for both teams, right? Arsenal, whether it's a one-off with Bournemouth, right? Or okay, Arno, let's see how you do.
See, the gap is now 4 points. If you guys lose, Arsenal lose, the gap becomes 7. And it's at this stage of the season, you don't want to have 7 points gap. So you either draw or you don't lose lah.
But playing at home, you have to win. Well, what's City playing next?
We'll get to the predictions shortly. Since we're talking about Liverpool, might as well we cover Liverpool lah. So 2-1 win against Chelsea. Convincing? I wouldn't say it's convincing for me personally, but what do you guys think?
You want to go first?
You go first.
I think honestly, I feel that again Liverpool were playing solid, but not like remarkable. Oh, they really won the game,
Not like how against MU,
yeah. Or the Liverpool who control, or the last season how Liverpool beat Chelsea, right? I think Chelsea turned up, but only I think this is what happens when you have a very young team, very new team. You get a little bit emotional, right? And you do not know how your teammates play and everything. And I think Liverpool, they utilized the mistakes that Chelsea did, right? And they showed they were a much more mature team. When they had a chance, they delivered, right? They delivered.
That's the thing, maturity. They showed a lot of maturity.
Correct.
Liverpool, Chelsea, to my opinion, is a top 6 side. That's it at this moment. They're not going to go further than that. If the luck is good, they do well a little bit, maybe top 4. That's about it. But they're a top 6 side. You can see the team is still young.
Isn't that progress for Chelsea? They've been like number 11, 12 last season most of the time.
No, they should be a top 6 side because with the players they have. João Felix didn't play. João Felix didn't even play. Yeah. And Mudryk is where's Mudryk? They've got so many good players now, and they cannot fit everybody in. So they've got really, really, really good squad. Talented players that they can move the ball and all that. But again, so it's just sometimes you cannot have too many of these players. You got to have some workhorse.
I think definitely it's a progress, and I think this brings back to my point earlier. I think it's not the progress by the manager, but it's also by the club itself, right? I think they had a new sporting director, they had new football coach, football director, and everything, and then they tried to bring in. And I think early days, Enzo did mention who he wants to play, who he wants as, even though they had 42 players, right? I mean, what?
It's insane. Insane.
And these are all good players, huh? It's 42 players are all good players.
Of course. But he knows what he wants, And I think credit have to be given to Chelsea and to Enzo as well, right? For the football he's trying to do and the progress he's trying to do. But sometimes I just feel that it's too much dependent to Cole Palmer as well, right? I think in Liverpool we could see that they were trying to depend Cole Palmer to do magic, and Liverpool were good. I think what they call that. Szoboszlai was following him all around the field as well, right? And then the Robertson as well, right? Trying to push him out to the left rather than him cutting in, right? So I think yeah, let's see how, right? But if Chelsea finish above than MU, I will feel sad. So right.
You see, Maresca, he's got a style of play.
Mm.
He's got a style of play already. You can see the way they move the ball and all that. That he's building something there.
Correct.
He came from the Pep school, lah.
Yeah,
Exactly
but
that.
and that's what the owners want. They want that kind of style of play, I think.
True. But again, like I said just now, it's a transition from Poch football to
Yeah.
Maresca football, right? And this is where the footballing department I'm being a tape recorder again right now, right? This is where I want the pressure, I want the type of football that how Dan Ashworth and Omar Bergado and other football in MU, how they want them to play. Do you want them to play like Ten Hag, or do you want them to play like MU way as well? So this is where I feel it's not because it's still still not there yet, and that's why we don't see an identity. That's why I don't see an identity. If you ask me, right? Because
okay. No, I mean, going
just
back to your point. Going back to your point. So, are you saying that the sporting team has to determine the style of play?
this is what modern football is. Of course, I do not want that because I've been played by how my manager want to be played, my coach want to be played. No, there's no football director or body, right? And during our Arsene Wenger days, Alex Ferguson days, this manager is going to play how, right?
Exactly.
But this is the modern football, right? And this is and it shows success. You see teams like Brighton go toe and toe with big teams, right? Even though they lose,
which
right?
Brighton hasn't got many good players. I mean, their striker is a 33-year-old Welbeck. Huh?
Exactly. And you see how many players that they lost from one season to one season, right? All their big players, their key players are being taken away from big clubs, but they still play well because they have a good footballing board up there who will say that, okay, if this goes, the club will still carry on. It's like an organization, guys. You see, even though the managers, people took, Graham Potter, people took Zerbi as well, but they still try to manage to get the proper. And it's always going to see that the next manager is better than the previous one. This is really surprising to me as well. Same goes to Aston Villa as well, right? The players that they brought in as well. Oh, will they play like Rodgers and all those people? And suddenly you say, wow, they are hitting it. Stats week in and week out as well. So I don't think that this is being okay. Perhaps maybe 30% Arteta. Unai Emery did something, but I feel that it's more on the club itself. And more clubs are doing it. You mentioned Spurs as well, right? Spurs.
Yeah. So you look at this season. Southampton is at the bottom of the league, but the style of play will not change. The manager, which is a British guy, he's playing the same style, and you won't be surprised next year he'll be called in for some big job overseas, like how company went, because he's got a style of play. They look at that now. No, people, the board and all these people, they look at that. This manager, maybe he doesn't have good players, but if you give him the good players, he will know what to do. That's why they bring Maresca in. They know Maresca is a guy that can coach good players.
Exactly.
With a style of play.
True. Maresca is the guy who can only to make a head coach, only to coach players, and also to bring up the transition from Pochettino football to the football that Chelsea wants to play with the players that they have. I think that's modern football, because you see how Leicester City, right? They won the title, but then when big clubs tried to take their players out, then they became the Leicester City that we know. the relegation Leicester City, the championship Leicester City, because they did not have a proper board. They were relying to the players, they were relying to the managers, and yeah, now football is result based, right? Ranieri was a very good coach, right? But because he couldn't get the results in, then they have to sack him, right? And then they went into the cycle of getting managers in, how many managers, and then they got and then they went into a cycle where they brought in managers just for them to survive the league, right? And it cannot work. It cannot work. It cannot work that way, right?
Going back to this Liverpool game, I mean Chelsea did have chances. And first half, Chelsea was quite bad. I think Sancho was quite quiet. The Liverpool fullbacks kept him quite quiet. But second half, when they brought in Pedro Neto, I felt he was quite dangerous. He gave the fullbacks a lot of problems. But it's just that Chelsea didn't have that proper number 9. I feel if it wasn't Nicholas Jackson, if they brought in Nkunku earlier, probably they would have got an equalizer.
True. They're a good team now, but they're young teams.
What do you guys think of Liverpool?
I like Liverpool. I like the way they play.
Man. Yeah, you cannot like Liverpool.
No, I'm very fair, but I like the way they play. I like the way they move the ball. I like Tottenham. I like the way Tottenham plays also. Very nice football. Very pleasing on the eye.
Yeah. How much I do not want to say this because it's Liverpool, but yeah, I was hoping, Arno to make a disaster. He couldn't start with Liverpool, but he proved everyone that he's up to the team, and he wants to play how the style he's playing. I think the style he's playing, yes, I think it's really wide, and the wingers is not inward wingers anymore. The wingers is actually very wide right now, right?
Yes.
And you're getting the fullbacks into the position, in a different position, and you have more players into it. I think it's really entertaining football. But yeah, let's see how what do you call it, their season, because it's still early, and I think Arsenal will be maybe Chelsea was maybe perhaps not there yet, but a proper team like Arsenal, right? Let's see how they
that will be the test. Also the test for Arsenal this season.
Correct. Because why is that? Because they lost to Bournemouth. If they did not lost to Bournemouth, then it will not be a test to them for the next Liverpool game, right? But yeah, so it's going to be an entertaining game because two teams wants to prove something, right? Yeah, let's see.
Okay. You can see the title race shaping up with the 3 teams,
yeah, I mean we all before the season we would have known already these 3 teams will be in it.
No, I never thought Liverpool would be there.
Correct. I agree. I didn't thought
Liverpool. I felt Liverpool will be in it.
Because we did not know how the new manager is going to survive, right? Because new manager come in and
win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
Correct. And the players he has is almost like what? It's almost club players, right?
And Klopp's team was winning the league and was entering the Champions League finals. So I think the squad itself is solid already. But it's just that they had a bad season last year.
But you cannot say that what Moyes inherit a champion winning team, right? So sometimes
that's a good point.
Yeah, sometimes that's why I thought sometimes when a manager inherit a title winning team, like what you mentioned, Champions League winning team, players might have why should I change my gameplay because the previous gameplay was winning, right? But somehow this guy managed to convince them, let's
and he changed the style, You see Endo is no more the defensive midfielder. He's Gravenberch now. They've changed the style a little bit now.
Correct. And in fact, like I mentioned, the wingers are playing wingers. They are not the attackers right now, right? And he's bringing Jota in, and Nunes is also okay. Of course, for me, I think compared to last season, but I think Nunes right now is playing better than how he played in during Klopp, right? Because I think Klopp likes his striker to play like a false 9, and then the 2 wingers comes in, right? And that does not suit his game, right? So yeah, I'm surprised with Liverpool actually.
In terms of attacking strength, Liverpool is strong. when you talk about Liverpool, Arsenal, Liverpool's attacking strength is strong. I mean, when they take out Gakpo, they bring in Luis Diaz.
Yes, correct.
So very strong. They've got good players.
We go back to Moyes and Anslot. What's the difference? Moyes, Anslot won the league in Holland. Moyes was top 5, top 6 manager at best at Everton. So there itself, you can see it's a big gap.
Yeah,
But
you
anyway,
can. You can argue about that, Shami. But I think there are also managers that inherit squads that then they turn out not to be well. For example, I can't recall one. Okay, goes to Carlo Ancelotti as well, Jose Mourinho as well, right? When they inherit squad and then they try to bring their philosophy, their winning games. Yeah, because that's my opinion. I'm surprised how Liverpool players adapt to Slot's or I don't know whatever we call him, right? Game style and how he convinced them. Let's not play this. Salah, I do not want you to come in. I want you to stay wide. How he convinced that? That was surprising. That
Yeah,
is
Salah
surprising.
doesn't come in anymore. He stays wide now. Yeah.
Exactly. And a player caliber like Salah who delivers week in and one. It's not the Rashford. It's not Anthony. He's like the top goal scorers, top 3 or EPL. And this bugger from Holland is telling him to tell him how to play. So for me, that's surprise. That's surprise. Even though he's winning in Holland, but he's a Champions League winner here. Salah, right?
Yeah.
He's a Premier League winner here. Yeah. And that shows professionalism. And this also brings back to the players of the mentality and the behavior of professionalism of Arsenal players, Man U players, and Liverpool players, and also City. Like we want to bring City players in, right? Because everyone can play football. Right?
Perfect. You mentioned City, so we have to cover City now. So 2-1 win against Wolves. They could have dropped points, but somehow or other they got the win.
They're not playing very well now. Huh?
Yeah,
I don't think City's playing very well now.
I think that marks a title winning team.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, they don't play well, but they get results in. Even Haaland is not playing well, but somehow don't know John Stones coming. I really thought they will struggle when Rodri got injured, right? Because Rodri is the spine of the team, right?
Yes.
And somehow, they are getting results. There's a drop of form of Haaland, right? Let's see how. But anyhow, suddenly Guardiola is scoring, and then suddenly you have your Luis is giving assists, and then suddenly they bring in Doku in, and then Doku scores, and then next time you suddenly see Foden, So that's a title winning squad, guys. To be honest, right?
No, they didn't have Foden, they didn't have Rodri, they didn't have De Bruyne, they didn't have Walker. It's a top 4 players. That's the first team players, huh?
Exactly, and that is why you could see why they couldn't play like how they played, right? Bossing the team or dominating the team, but they still get results. So it's a title winning team, right, guys? It's a title winning.
Yeah, no, I agree. They get results when it matters. Now they're the only team who has not lost a game. Do you think they can go all the way and not lose?
No, I think it's not the previous Premier League where Arsenal got invincibles. I think Arsenal is going to boast their invincibles for the next, I do not know, 10 to 15 years, right?
Because there's too many good teams now. Yeah.
Correct. I think that's what Premier League is. I think they manage the team very well. They distribute the funding, the TV rights very well. I know I'm going a little bit political but this is where difference Premier League, right? The match income as well. It's not going to the big team, but it's going to the lower team as well. That's where you could see smaller teams like previously like Aston Villas, Brighton again. Sorry, I have to mention Brighton again. Newcastle maybe have a shake behind it, right? But
don't forget Fulham. Fulham is doing well this season.
Exactly, getting players in, and then getting good players in, and yeah, Premier League is really tough, and when City is playing 4 cups in, and definitely, I think one out of nothing, that's going to be something that's going to spoil the party lah, and make us hopefully make things exciting for Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah, we don't want them to win again. Like they say, enough already. Enough is enough. So,
Yeah lah,
Uh,
enough lah.
4 in a row,
And
enough lah.
yeah, and as a fan, I'm worried, no, Sheikh, because now they are what, eight or nine Premier League titles, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
so
catching up.
yes, yeah, it's still far, but remember when Ferguson said that they will knock Liverpool out of perch, it was also 8 or 9 titles United won that time, right? So
True.
and you could see after 10 years we are still where we are right now, right? And do you think after 10 years we can stop City? So yeah, I do not want City.
City will be relegated this year. They will get the 115 charges. They'll be relegated. Pep will resign. They will bring another coach, and that's where their downfall will be.
That's what I'm hoping for lah. But okay lah.
That's the best case scenario lah.
Yeah, that's what City is like. Football department also they get results. Out of football also they get results. They lawyer pandai lah. They are lawyer pandai. I tell you. 150. Tell me one cannot stick. I tell you, wow.
Oh.
One suitcase of cash will come lah, then settle it.
No, I think they know how to justify lah.
Okay, let's do a quick round of predictions for next week. We'll start with City lah, since we just covered them. City playing Southampton.
This will be a walk
Home or away?
down the park lah. Home. It will be walk down. Yeah, it'll be walk.
Southampton will try to play out from the back, and it'll be a disaster.
Yeah, correct. I really hope
So
Southampton
City menang besar.
Correct.
Yeah, menang besar.
Menang besar lah.
So fantasy put Haaland in.
Hey, but he has not scored since playing Arsenal. I think like 4 games.
Yep. Since Rodri got injured lah.
Yeah. Chelsea,
But this one
Newcastle.
Chelsea at home.
Yeah, Chelsea
Tough,
at home.
tough, very tough. But Newcastle is hit and miss, huh?
Correct. I'm kind of surprised why Newcastle is not getting there, and perhaps also another pressure also as well. But it's Newcastle, right? It's Newcastle, and I think Eddie Howe, is his third season? Of
Yes.
what?
Yep.
And how many players he brought in? But I think Newcastle. If Newcastle turn up, then Chelsea might have a little bit hard.
I would say a draw lah.
No, okay. I'll say Chelsea win lah. Chelsea have too many players at their disposal to get a result.
True also lah, very true.
Crystal Palace Spurs playing at Palace.
I'm very surprised with Palace. They were doing well towards the end of last season. Like just because they lost one of their players, Olise, right? They lost Olise.
Yeah.
And they look like they're struggling now. Huh? So I would say Crystal Palace to lose lah.
Same here. I think it'll be Spurs. Son is back. Right, and then Oro is getting his form back. Solanke looking good. Yeah, I think it'll be Spurs.
Yeah, same here. Spurs to win. This is the interesting one lah. West Ham, Man United.
Man U 5-0. No need to talk lah. 100%.
Jangan taksub.
It all depends on the Fenerbahce's game, right? If they win with Fenerbahce or they get a result Fenerbahce, I think United might turn up for West Ham. But I may be biased.
West Ham got enough rest. MU will be playing on Thursday night and then again on Sunday. So let's see how they rotate lah.
West Ham is also playing Conference Cup, right?
Carabao.
No, Conference League.
Conference League, yes.
Not too sure. Maybe.
Wait,
No. They're not in the Conference League at all. No. Chelsea is in the Conference League.
Oh.
So West Ham will have a 1 week's rest, huh? But they haven't got Kudus. Kudus got red card. So that's why MU will win 5-0.
Yeah. Maybe not 5-0, but maybe they will win.
No, West Ham look a bit disjointed. Like they play well for a few minutes, then they sort of just like don't care, you know?
Yeah, but it's with MU. So I don't know. Somehow people or these teams plays MU, they are motivated to beat MU. So yeah,
Well, Ten Hag has got the 6 games. They have got to win this one.
correct. They have to win. I would like them to win, but again, I think if we can come up from the Fenerbahce with a result and without critical injuries, I think it will be a United result. But yeah, it's going to be tough as well. For me, it's a tough game. It's a tough game.
And the Europa also we must win, because we only got 2 points.
Correct. And like I mentioned, we have not won 9 games in Europe. So yeah.
Wow, that's bad.
Yep. But one thing I'm not worried about Europe because we are scoring goals. We are scoring like 3 goals, 4 goals. We are playing like I don't know. We are playing like Barcelona, man. Like top tier Barcelona stuff, no. But the problem is we are leaking at the back. That's the problem.
The Porto game, I was so happy. I got up at 4 o'clock. It was 2-0. I said, okay, boy, we're going to win. Hey, 3-2, 10 men.
So that's a problem with Europe. And that Ten Hag also was saying they with Bayern Munich also they lost 4-3, right? And then with Galatasaray they were 2-0 and then lost the game. So somehow I do not know. They're 2-0 within 18 minutes, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, I really like MU how they play in Europe compared to the play in Premier League. So maybe Ten Hag built the team for Europe, not for the Premier League. But yeah, I really hope. I think if they could get something out of Fenerbahce, it could be great. But it's Jose Mourinho team, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the drama.
Okay, to give you your final answer, 2 wins for MU against Fenerbahce and against West Ham.
I think it will be a draw, lah. I don't think it will be a draw.
For which game? Fenerbahce or West Ham?
I think Fenerbahce will be a draw, and West Ham perhaps a slight narrow win.
Yeah, narrow win.
Yeah.
Very.
What about you?
Yeah,
not final, lah.
yeah, definitely not final. I say Fenerbahce, you guys will either draw or lose because it's a away game. Turkey can be quite a tough place to go to.
Correct.
And it's Mourinho. He knows United. He knows United in and out.
Yep.
West Ham, they are not the same West Ham. The new manager is going to get sacked soon. I think he'll be the first one sacked.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I keep telling West Ham they bought a lot of players, huh? They bought a lot of players, actually.
Agreed.
So the West Ham game can go 2 ways, lah. It's either the players are not playing for the manager and they just capitulate, or they play mati-mati against MU. It's the final game to save the manager. So I think United will win, lah. West Ham it's not at the good place, and their star player is also suspended. So yeah.
True. It's a pity that Lopetegui couldn't get the West Ham. I think this again. I think the problem with West Ham, they bring in managers and they want the managers to play their style of football.
No, and this guy is not like a joke. It's not a old time manager. He's ex Real Madrid, ex Spanish national team,
ex Spanish national team, ex Real Madrid, and then what was the he came from a Spanish team as a Spanish club. Was it Villarreal or something? Or
I think Sevilla, if I'm not wrong.
Sevilla, Sevilla. Yeah, good. And Sevilla won something. And you saw how Sevilla won with MU right last season. So I agree. It's a good coach, but again, it's a modern football. You cannot depend on a manager to bring the style of football. You need the club. Again,
good coach, wrong team, huh?
No, sometimes also the coach, he needs time, and they don't have time nowadays. You lose the first 15 games, you lose 7 or 8, you're out.
I agree. I totally agree. I think I really hope West Ham try to keep Lopetegui. I think for once they have a very very good coach in hand, right? But if it gets to relegation, then you have to do something lah, right? Then you have to get rid lah. I think that's what Arsenal did with Unai Emery, right? Enough is enough, right? But yeah. I hope Lopetegui gets something out of West Ham because because his football is entertaining. How if we see how he managed Spain, right? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's an English issue or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel he's a good coach, but he's in the wrong team. He's in a similar situation as Ancelotti. Ancelotti was a good coach, but put him in Everton. Koyak.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. Final game of the week. Arsenal Liverpool. Main kat Emirates.
You go first. You go first.
Is Saka back?
Yeah, he should be back. I would say Arsenal win, but tight one.
Yeah, Arsenal fan of course Arsenal win.
No. My it's not blind faith. It's justified. We have won at home the last 2 seasons in a row against Liverpool. So that's what I'm putting my faith on, and we'll have Saka back. So that's a good sign. But we'll be missing Saliba lah. That's a big blow lah.
So who's your centre back pairing?
Can be different number of combinations. It can be either Timber and Gabriel. It can be either Ben White and Gabriel. It can be even Calafiori and Gabriel. So you can actually plug and play, But I feel he will go with probably Timber Gabriel, I think.
But that's where the partnership won't be as solid lah. Would you agree?
Yeah, but Julian Timber is Julian Timber. I mean, you guys were interested in him at one point.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good quality player.
Agree.
But Arsenal be under pressure lah, this one.
Yeah, no doubt. What do you guys think?
I think it'll be a draw.
Oh, okay.
Draw because I think last 2 seasons because it's with Klopp's team, right? And now it's Arne Slot's team. So I think it's a different Liverpool. But let's see. I hope it's not 0-0 draw, right? So let's see.
Oh, very boring.
Yeah.
No, but I think this game is never 0-0. They always score goals.
Yeah. Salah always scores with Arsenal. So.
Yeah. You?
I think because you don't have Saliba, you don't have Odegaard. Saka, I don't know whether he's back or not. Even if he's back also, I would say draw. But if you squeeze me a little bit, I would go for a Liverpool win, narrow Liverpool win, because of your centre back pairing. I mean, the new guy is not been tested at all. I mean, you haven't had a Timber and what do you call this? Gabriel partnership. Yeah. So that's the thing. This guy is important. Saliba. How many games he's going to be? 3.
No, one game.
1. Okay.
Yeah.
So the best bet for Arsenal is to avoid defeat lah. But if you twist my arm, I'd say I would point for Liverpool victory lah. Narrow.
Okay. Fair. Okay. That basically wraps up our predictions. So we'll see United whether they can get a good result against West Ham and whether Arsenal can bounce back against Liverpool. So thank you so much, guys. It's been great.
Hey,
and thank you, bro. Thank you, bro, Sharif.
Yep, sure. More therapy session.
Okay. Take good care.
Thank you for inviting, man. Thank you for inviting.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Ciao.
Okay. Bye.